My name is Manu Garg and I attended the unique IAS mock session regarding my interview guidance program. It was a good mock and a lot of questions were asked regarding my DAF and also about the current national and international issues. I think it would help me in my preparation and by providing me with a line of thought where I have to prepare and what are my lacunas to work upon.
So, Mr. Manu Garg, tell me something about yourself.
Sir, my name is Manu Garg. I have been born and brought up by my single parent, my mother in Jaipur, Rajasthan. Then I have done my graduation from Hindu College, where I was also fortunate enough to get second rank there. Also, I have done my post-graduation from Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi, in international relations. My interest lies in discussing about geopolitics and reading audiobooks and listening to comical podcasts.
That's really nice. So, what are the specialties of Jaipur? Any three specialties?
So, Jaipur is known for its culture, especially the Nargad Fort and the Amir Fort. Sir, secondly, Jaipur as a city is a growing tourist hub, and as it attracts 108 million tourists every year. Sir, thirdly, Jaipur is also famous for its Jaipur foot, which is an accessible foot, prosthetic foot, which makes it a world class also of the globe.
Okay. What is the meaning of the term Manu?
Sir, mythologically, Manu was the son of Lord Brahma, who saved this earth from Pralay. Sir, secondly, historically, Manu was a saint who compiled the Hindu law code into a book called as Manusmriti.
Who was Manu Swambhu?
Sir, Manu Swambhu was the first human being on this earth. He was the son of Lord Brahma.
You completed your graduation in 2022.
Yes, sir.
After that, you started preparing for civil services.
Yes, sir.
So, in your hobby section, you have mentioned that you participated and you come first in debate, which is on social media's mental health impact. So, what do you mean by social media's mental health impact?
Sir, by the dictum of social media and mental health, I believe that there are two sides of this. Firstly, there is a positive side where social media platform provides us with a opportunity to express our creative expression. It compresses the geography and time, making social connections outside the world. But that secondly, there is a negative side also. Social media has a very dark impact on mental health, where due to the conformity bias and peer pressure, a person's mental health is impacted. So the recent case of grooming gangs in UK is a good example of how social media can impact the mental health of an individual.
Can you be little slower in speed?
Yes, sir.
So also you are having a hobby of writing current on Indian geopolitics. So can you mention some articles you wrote on Indian geopolitics?
Sir, recently I wrote an article about how President-elect or Donald Trump's presidency would impact India's national interest.
Okay.
Sir, my previous article was on Taliban control over Afghanistan and the spillovers that it would have on India's foreign policy.
So, can you elaborate on the after Trump assuming the charge of US president, what will be the impact on the STEM category?
STEM category, science, technology, engineering, math.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, after the election of President-elect Donald Trump, our skilled individuals and workforce who seek job opportunities in USA by especially H-1B visa, their job prospects would be significantly impacted as President Donald Trump is against immigration. And according to reports, he has prepared a list of 18 lakh Indians whom he would deport back to India.
So what could be the impact of Mr. Trump on the current war which is going on between Russia and Ukraine?
Sir, taking precedence of the yesterday's peace agreement between Israel and Hamas, we can imply that there might be positive implications when it comes to peace ensuring in Russia-Ukraine war also. President Putin has also announced a visit with President Trump in the near future to resolve this war.
Mr. Manu, there are newses that the dollar is getting stronger and rupee is falling. So what could be its reasons?
Sir, some of the reasons are, firstly, the Fed rate hike of the US Federal Reserve has led to outflow of hot money, that is the FIIs, back to America. Sir, secondly, after the global poly crisis, there has been a domination of US dollar all throughout the world, which is also leading to it gaining importance.
So whenever India import oil, India imports it from OPEC nations usually, or say from Russia. So why India has to make payment, or a country has to make payment in dollar? Nobody is importing from US as such, so why to pay in dollar?
Sir, the petrodollar scheme, which took place in the 1960s and 1970s, forced the Middle East and the Western Asian countries to sell their oil exports in dollar only. Dollar has become the global currency, and foreign exchange reserves can be kept quite good in dollars. Therefore, country prefers to have the foreign exports and imports in dollars.
Can you elaborate on the dollar diplomacy of US?
Yes, sir. Sir, especially after the Bretton Woods Conference of 1945, US proposed a mechanism where it promoted the US dollar to become the global currency. So therefore, the dollar diplomacy started. However, in the recent times, with the efforts of China, India, and the BRICS currencies, there has been a trend of de-dollarization in the world.
So, normally Indian petroleum trade with the Russia can be in rupee ruble. So, what are the current obstructions in that?
So the current obstructions are the Russian avenues to invest in India. The trade is highly imbalanced in favor of Russia, and Russia is finding very less opportunities to invest in Indian sectors. Sir, also the Vostro Nostro account is in place with the national banks of Russia and India, which is working well.
You have mentioned about Jatayu. You are the coordinating member of Jatayu. What is Jatayu?
Sir, sorry, your voice broke and
you have mentioned in point number 2 that you are the coordinating member of Jatayu.
Yes, sir.
What is Jatayu?
So Jatayu was a society in my Hindu college, wherein we used to distribute radiant fluorescent collars to dogs, street dogs. This was done so that there was no accident in the case of darkness, and speeding cars do not hit dogs.
Okay. Good work. So, can you highlight some current national events going on in the country?
Yes, sir. So recently, the Delhi elections have been announced. There is also the One Nation, One Election bill, which the 129th Amendment bill, which is sent to the Joint Parliamentary Committee. Sir, also there is the case of Delhi pollution, which is taking in the headline.
The world's largest religious congregation is also taking place in our country. That is Mahatma.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how much administration is prepared to fight with some how administration is going ahead with streamlining the Mahakumbh Mela?
So the current administration has taken many steps for crowd controlling and to prevent any mishaps of stampede. In the UP and Uttarakhand, there have been provisions to for the proper crowd management. Proper police barricades and entry barriers have been enacted so that there are no cases of people going haywire.
Can you explain about the role of artificial intelligence in crowd management currently being done at Kumbh Mela?
So artificial intelligence as a network can help in, firstly, it can try to identify the footfall of the particular place. So with the help of data, we can properly manage the entry gates and the exit gates, properly managing the crowd hotspots. So AI is also being used with the help of drone technology to map the crowd level.
Okay, fine. So, Mr. Manu, sometimes when Kumbh is organized at Prayagraj, it is known as Kumbh. When it is organized at Ujjain, it is also called as Sinha. So, why such names?
Sorry, sir, I will have to read upon it.
Okay. So, in Delhi elections, the parties are promising, which falls under the category of SOPs. And we have examples in the world like Venezuela or Sri Lanka. When the SOPs are uncontrolled, there are financial crises. So what do you think? There should be some check on the SOPs or electoral promises before the elections?
Sir, your voice is breaking. Actually, it's not audible.
In Delhi elections, the parties are going for promises, the SOPs. So
Yes.
should these be under control by making some mechanism?
So the freebies should be first classified whether it is leading to any significant advantage. By this, I mean that there should be scientific evidence-based decision making. I think there should not be any external control, and the political party should themselves have a self-regulation in announcing these pre-poll political intentions.
How political parties can control? If one party promises that they will give 1,000 rupees to the girls, another party says we will give 1,500 rupees. So how it can be controlled? There must be some regulatory bodies, na? Because after all, they are distributing the taxpayers' money.
Yes. Sir, Election Commission can provide a platform for inter-party discussion. However, imposing any such restrictions, I think, would be not good for our democracy. As in a democracy, political parties can have free say to have public opinion about whether they want to distribute freebies or not. If they gain legitimacy by the notion of freebies, I think they should be permitted.
So what are the examples? Can you explain me about the financial crisis faced by Venezuela?
Yes, sir. So recently, the Venezuelan government under the presidency of Nicolas Maduro faced US sanctions, and it led to its oil exports to the world being on a decline. It led to hyperinflation in Venezuelan economy.
So when Venezuela is an oil exporting nation, it is a rich nation. So why there is a hyperinflation? What is the role of freebies in the economic crisis of Venezuela?
Yes, so the president the president got a lot of foreign exchange reserves by selling oil, and he distributed that money for social welfare schemes. So one of the causes is traced back to the freebie initiative. So similar is also the case in Sri Lanka's economic crisis.
So Manu, on the borders of the Delhi, the farmers are protesting. So what are the main demands of the farmers?
So the main demands of the farmers are firstly to have the MSP regime legalized and to pressurize government to fast track the committee recommendations. Sir, the second demand is for India to withdraw from the WTO and to remove the de minimis limit.
Do you think the MSP can be ensured by legislation?
Sir, if the parliament decides the MSP can be legalized, however, there would be many challenges. Firstly, it would lead to a lot of state exchequer being spent on the MSP. Secondly, it would be very difficult for the FCI to open procurement shops and to procure outside India.
Other sectors can also ask for minimum support price for their product that way.
Yes, sir.
Because MSP is not for the poor, it is for everyone, even for the biggest, even for the middle farmer, big farmer. So other people can also ask.
Yes,
Mr. Manu, do you think the time has come that the large and the medium farmers can be taxed if their income is above the prescribed limit?
Yes, sir. I believe that a certain criteria or a certain threshold can be developed above which large farmers can be taxed, especially if they are dealing in agricultural exports.
So, what are the qualities you possess which helps you for your selection in civil services?
Sir, in my limited exposure, I have experienced, I think that I have certain qualities. Firstly, my resilience. Despite facing certain adversities in my life, I bounce back, and I think this could be utilized in civil services. Sir, secondly, the research potential. I have been researching about the current social issues and their challenges. So I believe this can be used to serve the society. So thirdly, my regularity and patience. I have 100% attendance all throughout my academic life, and I think punctuality and regularity are much needed in our civil services. So fourthly, my empathy. I think that I hold an empathetic viewpoint about vulnerable sections, which is also the need in civil services.
Mr. Mani, how you visualize yourself in, say, 2030?
Sir, in 2030, I envisage myself as a successful civil servant who is trying to serve the people.
Can you elaborate the current plan of Vision 2047 of our country?
Yes, sir. So the government of India, under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, has enacted the Viksit Bharat 2047 initiative. It envisages an India where there would be a knowledge economy and India would reach the status of a developed country. Sir, in this, we have also set up many parameters, for example, to achieve the health and educational outcomes for our citizens.
Okay. Mr. Manu, can you elaborate the difference in the thoughts regarding industries between Mahatma Gandhi and Pandit Nehru?
Yes, sir. Sir, Mahatma Gandhi believed in industries derived from capitalism, and he believed in cottage small industries. And he believed that machines could not replace the manual labor. Whereas our honorable former Prime Minister Nehru ji believed that industries are the temples of modern India, and it is only with industrialization and with democratic socialism we would be able to achieve India's development.
In our polity, do we have a socialism or we have a socialistic pattern?
Sir, socialism is enshrined in our preamble. However, we follow a mixed economic model of development, combining both socialistic pattern, socialism, and capitalism.
Supposingly, you become the district magistrate of city of Jaipur. So in that capacity, what would be your top 3 priorities?
So firstly, I would like to solve the water crisis that is ensuing in the city of Jaipur. As per the recent surveys, about 40% of Jaipur's groundwater is in decline. So secondly, I would focus on the increasing crime rates of Jaipur, especially crimes against women.
हाँ.
Thirdly, I would like for the infrastructure to be accessible for persons with disability. As per a survey, only 30% of the public spaces are currently accessible, which is hindering the free movement and mobility of persons with disability.
Okay, Mr. Manu, thank you very much. Your interview is over.